Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, I wanted to share with everybody the excitement that the Deadpool raids are back for next 10 to 11 days. So I know everybody's probably pretty excited about that. I know I am because, obviously we're sitting here going, hey, we can get Deadpool to 4, 5, 6, whatever stars you're at. I mean, I just started the game right as this kind of was coming out. So I was a little bit of a noob. I'm still a noob, I guess, to an extent. But anyway, I only got mine to 3 stars with 34 shards into it. So I was hoping the next time, we got the raids out, I'd be able to 4-star them, which would be perfect timing for the Merc event, which actually might convince me to spend more on some of these other guys. Because if I got Deadpool to 4, then you know what? I can already get the Merc Lieutenant to 4 based on the Blitz. Maybe I'd spend something to get Korath and maybe one of these other two. So anyway, all that aside, let's look at this Deadpool raid to see kind of what we got here. The first thing, obviously, the chimneys that pop out. You get those from just spending your campaign energy. I'm not 100% sure if that's maxed at 600 a day. I'm assuming it is because that's kind of how those work. Let's see where it says it here. Here we go. You can contribute 600 chimichangas to there you go. So there's your max. You got 600 a day, so that's pretty typical. So you got to kind of max that out to make sure to get, because 14.4, the math behind that, 600 times 24. Let me do my math here. What is that? 600 times 24. That's exactly that. So basically, everybody in your alliance needs to make sure they max out each day if you want to do Fuego. A little bit less if you want to do spicy, but you get the idea. So the first thing, 2 hours. Everyone's been talking about it. By everyone, I mean Reddit. And it's kind of like, whoa, okay, that's they must have shortened the raid or something. So you go in here and it's the 3 teams of 8, typical, and it's quite a bit of nodes here. If you go through and count, which I actually have already, I believe it's let's see, and I'll go through this spreadsheet here a little bit more in a bit, but it is let's see, in Fuego 50 nodes and Spicy's 35. So that's quite a bit of nodes. So you got 50 nodes in here, and as you're looking, they're in your hundreds as far as the strength of the nodes. 127, 107, 155. They're not crazy, but they're not going to be easy. So you might get a wipe or two here at some point, but they're pretty consistent in that range until you kind of 136, 149. You're in your 100s, the mid 100s, and then you start moving up towards the last line, and you got a couple 200s, and then the boss nodes at 175. Which, forgetting a time constraint on that for a second, don't seem terribly difficult. I think in our alliance we could easily clear this in 24 hours, given the chance. So the one thing that with the 2-hour limit that Fox Next was, I suppose, kind enough to do is shorten the duration for the regen. If that was down, it's 3.5 minutes, so they regen quicker. If you do the math behind that, so you get one. This is a little spreadsheet I did. I'll get to this here in a second, but you got 3.5 minutes for every one Deadpool raid energy, which is basically 17 energy in an hour. So ultimately in the 2-hour span of the raid you can get 34, which is essentially 3 nodes. So given that there's 50 nodes in Fuego, you got 8 people a group, that's 6 nodes a person. That math makes sense because you're starting with your 50 energy in theory before you go in there. You only have to do 6. You're going to gain at least 3 more nodes if possible. So you get 2 extra shots at a node if you wipe. So that seems reasonable. Their Spicy's way easier. I'm not even going to go through that. So anyway, so that's kind of the overview of this. Spicy, again, it's easier. A lot less nodes, a lot weaker. This could probably easily be done in 2 hours if you have all 24 people involved. But let's look at the rewards for a second. So it's like, okay, Mega Orbs again. you know, because this is, I mean, if we're talking 2 hours here, right? We've got, you know, we would think good rewards. This is the exact same setup as Thanos Raid. You know, it's tier 3, spicy is just mega. Orb fragments. So it's like, okay, fine. Then you go, all right, well, let's see what we get in Fuego. Let me guess. It's going to be the same as Thanos. Pretty much. Now, the nice thing here is these, in my mind, is these 100 T3 ability orbs. I need these pretty bad. You know, I'm a 93k max player at the moment. I've been playing since late May. So, you know, I reasonably far given the short duration I've been playing. And, you know, I could really use these. I also could really use Deadpool orb fragments. I'm at 1900 from the last time it is. But again, I have to 100% with my entire alliance, all 24 people in the Infuego raid. It's the only way to get any orb fragments. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just say for a second, you know what? We're going to do this. As an alliance, we are going to be able to do this. So I don't know about your guys' alliances, but ours has people from all over the world, really. So I decided, you know, let me think about this a little bit. Let me see if this is even a realistic possibility. So you can kind of see off the left here. These are just the names of the people in the alliance I'm in. You know, and here I've got their locations, generally speaking. So I've just got some time zones. I've got some foreign countries because I'm an American. So these are overseas for me. And then with mainly we've got a lot of Central Standard Time Zone people. So I just started at midnight here, and in this same column I said, well, at midnight here in Central, the Central Time Zone, Central Standard Time, what time is it for everyone else? And then I just kind of ran it across. You know, for each hour it goes by. So that way I could set up this chart to kind of show what might work. Now, what I did on top of that is I said, okay, realistically, when are people no way going to raid? In my mind, from 11 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning, there is no way somebody's going to be raiding. Again, if you got a different sleep schedule, you maybe work night shifts, or you know, you sleep during the day, whatever, fine, I get that. But I'm just going by a standard, you know, someone who sleeps from, you know, their night through their morning. So I grade all of that out. In each person, I grade out those areas so that I knew they couldn't raid. I made 10 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning. I yellowed it. I was like, maybe somebody's doing something in the morning. Maybe they're going to do something, you know, around 10 o'clock. You could arguably have 11 o'clock yellow. But after I did there is anything that wasn't gray or yellow, I made green. So for our alliance with people in Israel, Greece, Germany, UK, Ireland, and then a bunch of American time zones, we've got a 4-hour window that we even have an overlap that people in theory wouldn't be sleeping or potentially sleeping or available. Now, that to me is a little crazy. It's like, okay, so in this 4-hour window, I'm supposed to get 24 people from around the globe to stop whatever they're doing and come do a Deadpool raid that gives me the rewards I just showed you. Okay, now again, if we're lucky enough to get through Infuego, that's what we get. If we 60% it, that's okay, I guess. If you 30% it, whatever. That's, you know, a number of raids, you get another Mega Orb where you can get more Ronin shards. So I'm sitting here, so let's just look at that time. So, you know, for these guys in overseas, you know, in Israel, Ireland, the UK, Germany, Greece, it's not too bad. You know, 6 o'clock at night, 4 o'clock at night to, you know, 7 to 9. It's decent time. 4 to 6 is, So you're thinking for these guys, you know, really this range here, this two middle column where you're talking about 5 to 8 o'clock. Let's go to the Americans here. Well, that's around noon for the Eastern time. So, oh, you know what? Maybe they can do it. You know, you take a break at lunch. You kind of run in there and take 15 minutes to, you know, do a couple nodes. All right, that's possible. But that's on your East Coast, and as obviously as you move to the West, that gets more hard or more difficult. You know, your Pacific coast, your West Coast folks, you're talking about 9 and 10 in the morning. Okay, well, are you going to stop work? Can you get out of work? Are you in a meeting? You know, so, hey guys, hold on, can we pause the meeting while I go do my Deadpool raid? Again, if you're a student, something like that, I get it. Maybe you can do that if you're not in class or whatever. I don't know what Fox Next was thinking here. I'm not going to lie. Like, you need 24 people to fill in. Obviously, like, you know, the lines, maybe if someone doesn't do their full 6, you know, like I showed in the math here, technically each person has to do 6. So, you know, but each person can in theory do 8. So, you know, maybe for every person that does 5, you know, you get someone who steps up and does a few more. But, you know, you've only got so much opportunity to do that. So I just, I don't understand this. I'd love for, you know, Fox Next, and they're not gonna, because, I mean, it's a game and they're developers, and they made, what, 25 million last month, or since the 4 months they've been doing this, and that's in revenue, not profit. But I really don't understand. And even, all right, let's just say for a second in this chart, I'm going to be selfish, you know, being an American and all that. I'm going to say, you know what, we're going to wait for the Americans here to get off of work. So us Americans here, we're going to do something at, you know, let's do 5, 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock at night. All right. Okay, so we get our guys on the East Coast at 10. Then we go overseas. It's like, you know, these guys, unless these guys are going to stay up to 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, that's the only way we can do that. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's a global game. You know, that's kind of how the internet works. Is it unites us throughout this entire planet to do things that we enjoy, love, to talk smack to each other, and, you know, rage online, I suppose. And I guess this is one thing that a lot of people are raging about if you go to Reddit. So I don't expect Fox Next to explain this. I wish they would, just to tell us what they're thinking. I'm not even sure, you know, it falls into the rich gets richer type concept, because, I mean, I guess depending where these times or where alliances are, you could get some top alliance just saying, well, I'm just going to keep paying for me to grind through these so I can, you know, we can have 12, you know, or, you know, let's just say 4 people. I don't know how many you need per group, but you'd say 6 people per group that could finish that, you know, Deadpool run. Maybe they can do it, but I don't know. So that's pretty much what I got on this Deadpool raid. Our alliance, we're not even sure we're going to do it yet. I'm guessing that, you know, as we analyze this a little bit farther, we're probably going to try to just do the Infuego to, you know, 30% to get some Mega Orb shards, I guess. But I don't know. The whole thing seems a little silly. I'm not going to get too excited about getting anything from it. I know a lot of people are upset quitting the game. I'm not at that point yet. I really like the game. I love RPGs. I love Marvel. So I just hope that Fox Next kind of, you know, rethinks some things and maybe gets back to, you know, looking at what their base is looking for as far as the game. I think they could make even more. I wouldn't be surprised if they could double, triple that 25 million if they really, you know, improved some things. But that's my opinion. So anyway, if you like the thoughts here, you want to see videos like this and more others, I do walkthroughs and some, you know, strat videos as well. You know, click the subscribe button below as well as the like button, and I'll see you guys soon.